Thanksgiving is a Protestant holiday to give thanks to God for the annual crop and harvest. It is one of the biggest holidays in the United States. Along with Easter and Christmas, it is one of the three major Protestant holidays observed around the world. The United States and Canada have designated Thanksgiving as a public holiday. The best-known Thanksgiving in the United States is the fourth Thursday in November, and government offices and schools are closed from Thursday through the weekend. In the United States, public institutions, corporations, and even private companies designate the Friday following Thanksgiving as a holiday as well. The date falls between November 22nd to 28th in the United States, and because winter comes earlier in Canada than the United States, the second Monday in October is Canadian Thanksgiving Day, which is between October 8th to 14th.
Because Thanksgiving is a major holiday in the United States and Canada, the amount of travel and consumption increases the most during the Thanksgiving holiday.
There is some debate among Americans and Canadians as to which day of the year is best, Thanksgiving or Christmas. But Thanksgiving is generally regarded as the bigger holiday.
Although Christmas includes a large number of year and social events, the Thanksgiving holiday is larger in that it not only has economic effects such as sales and travel, but also that families generally gather to eat.
Because Thanksgiving is a Protestant holiday, Catholics do not celebrate Thanksgiving even though they are also Christian. Instead, Catholics celebrate November 1st as All Saints' Day, which is why the night of Halloween, October 31st, is sometimes called the Eve of All Saints' Day.
In the Old Testament of the Bible, the three major holidays that Jews observed according to their national experiences and traditions of Thanksgiving festivals were all related to giving thanks. Passover was celebrated as a day of thanksgiving for the liberation of the nation, and the Feast of First Fruits in spring was a thanksgiving for the first harvest. In the fall, people harvested, stored grain, built wooden houses, and observed the Sukkot or Feast of Tabernacles, which lasts 7 days. According to the Bible, the autumn feast of Thanksgiving offered to God for the harvest is the Feast of Tabernacles. Directly translated, the meaning of the Feast of Tabernacles is a festival to commemorate by building a tent with grasses. The origin of the Feast of Tabernacles is that after the liberation of Egypt, when Moses went up to Mount Sinai to receive the 10 Commandments and did not come down for 40 days, the Israelites thought that he was dead, made a golden calf, and worshipped it.
In anger, Moses broke the 10 Commandments that he had brought down, and the Israelites were brutally killed. Moses went up to Mount Sinai again to receive the second 10 Commandments and stayed there for 40 days.
He came down with the 10 Commandments. meaning that the Lord forgave the sins of the people of Israel and granted them the 10 Commandments again. Greatly moved by the forgiveness of their sins, the people of Israel voluntarily began to gather materials to build the tabernacle to house the 10 Commandments as a token of thanks to God.
The history of gathering the materials for this tabernacle is the origin of the Feast of Tabernacles. After that, in Israel, to commemorate the gathering of the materials for the tabernacle at the Feast of Tabernacles, as a way of giving thanks to God, they cut grass or branches from the mountain to make a house, and lived there for 7 days and observed the Feast of Tabernacles with great joy.
In Judaism, the Sukkot Feast of Tabernacles is still celebrated as an important holiday according to the Old Testament law. The Feast of Tabernacles is between the end of September to October in today's solar calendar. However, this Feast of Tabernacles and today's Thanksgiving have nothing in common other than the harvest. In other words, there is no record of Thanksgiving, which is celebrated around November after slaughtering a turkey, in the Bible.
The origin of the Thanksgiving is considered to be at the beginning of the English Puritan ceremony in the Americas, around 1620, with the slaughtering of turkeys and offering a worship service as a sign of gratitude to God. In the Reformed churches in Switzerland, the holiday is celebrated in September, and in England, Ramah's Day is celebrated on August 1st as Thanksgiving Day. The Evangelical Church in Germany observes the Sunday after the Feast of Saint Michael on September 29th as Erntedankfest. In the case of Dutch reformists like Switzerland, at first they observed the feast in September, but in modern times, the Wednesday after the first week of November is observed as a day of Thanksgiving, Dankdag. Thanksgiving in the United States originated from the British tradition of a harvest celebration, and it began in 1620 when Puritans who had been persecuted by the Anglicans in Britain came to America. The story that Thanksgiving began when Native Americans helped and fed the British Puritans who migrated to New England is a widespread fiction used as part of coexistence policy in the 1960s. However, it is a clear historical fact that the early settlers were able to survive because locals helped and fed them. The early settlers had no farming skills and no concept of settlement. Of the 100 people aboard the Mayflower, none of them had worked in agriculture or fishing. No one brought a fishing rod, let alone agricultural tools or seeds. Naturally, more than half of them died within a year of arriving. If the Native Americans, the Algonquin and Mohicans, had not distributed seeds and taught them how to cultivate corn, the settlers would all have died.
So, Thanksgiving Day in the United States has not only a strong religious meaning, but also symbolizes the beginning of the settlement of the United States. Thanksgiving Day was first established as a national holiday on November 26, 1789 by George Washington, the first President of the United States.
After that, the date was changed and then abolished, but in 1941, President Franklin Roosevelt ordered it to be a national holiday, and the U.S. Congress decided it to be the fourth Thursday in November and designated it as a public holiday, which it has remained until now.
Turkey is a staple food in the United States. The week before the Thanksgiving holiday, the White House holds an event where the President of the United States serves a portion of turkey to all White House officials.
Other meal options include seasonal vegetables, pecan pie, pumpkin pie, mashed potatoes, and sweet potatoes topped with gravy, cornbread, Brussels sprouts, stuffing casserole, and cranberry sauce. Recently, Americans have also been eating turducken, which is turkey roasted stuffed with a duck inside a chicken.
These foods have actually been eaten since the early days of the pioneering period and have a distinctly American significance. As 300 million Americans sit around eating with their families, the US consumes the highest amount of food every year. The US military is no exception, and all kinds of decorations are made in the barracks cafeteria. In the case of the US military, on Thanksgiving Day, turkey is basic, the limit of one meal, one meat is lifted, and a large number of menu items that are not normally seen are added, such as eggnog. Eggnog is a drink made by mixing eggs, cream, milk, and sugar with whiskey or bourbon. Moreover, on the day of Thanksgiving, it is a tradition for field-level officers, such as battalion commanders and captains, who are high-ranking commanders and chief sergeants who are generals and admirals, to distribute the main dishes to general soldiers directly while wearing uniforms. The same is true for US troops deployed abroad. As an aside, this turkey roasting keeps firefighters in the US too busy to even have a Thanksgiving holiday. Similarly, US police officers are often busy working on holidays. Especially before and after Black Friday, there are many thefts and robberies, so their workload increases. Grilling a turkey is cumbersome in general, but there are several ways to fry a turkey whole in a large pan with oil, which is how KFC and others sell roasted turkey. Or you could substitute it with chicken or duck. However, the frying method has a very high risk of fire. The oil catches fire if one forcibly fries a turkey that has not been thawed properly. As a result, fires are surprisingly common. And even if there is not a fire, there are a lot of ambulance calls, such as burns or a child swallowing something wrong and getting it stuck in their throat. Therefore, fire departments diligently go out without closing the shutters during the 3-day Thanksgiving holiday. Even if they are off duty, if there is a burn patient in the area, they immediately grab a first aid kit and run. The police station also does not rest. Rather, these holidays are busier than normal days for them.
There are a surprisingly large number of videos on YouTube of turkeys catching fire during frying. There is even a video where fire departments in each city in the United States deliberately set fire to a turkey to promote awareness. Do not do it because it is dangerous to do it this way.
The White House hosts a turkey-related event, the so-called Turkey Pardon event. This is an event in which the president selects 1 or 2 turkeys to be slaughtered and sends them back to life.
It is said that the custom originated from an anecdote that Abraham Lincoln's son raised cherished turkeys in the White House yard during his father's presidency and could not slaughter them.
The turkeys saved in this way spend the rest of their lives in zoos and parks. Thank you for watching the video, Thanksgiving History, provided by History and Current Events. I'm Mia, Rebecca, Katie, Leah and Tony have contributed so far as narrators. Thank you.